Okay, hello everyone. This is DRC Talk. I'm the DRC founder, Selena. And the DRC is a distributed real-time collaboration platform, and we are trying to build up autonomous and self-regulation economic ecosystem to help the startup company and investor to set up mutual trust each other. And today we are in Singapore on the site of the future of the token economy. And we are inviting introduce our guest, Mr. Peter Douglas, who is the director of the CAIA, and Professor Bai Sipan, who are the professor of Nanyang University of Singapore. Welcome to join our DRC talk. Okay, today we are focused on how to build up the standard for the future of the token economy. Okay, please go on.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Good afternoon.
Yep. Very excited to hear the news this morning at the conference where you announced the new program for CFDA, which is certified, I hope I get it right, Certified Financial Data Analyst, which is a provisional name as I understand it. Could you share a little bit more about the objective of this program and what is your plan going forward to push this program?
Thank you. So first of all, I should explain a little bit about CAIA itself. So CAIA stands for Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst. So we've been going about 16 years. We have 10,000 members globally, and our members typically are investment decision makers. They're portfolio managers, they're analysts, they're asset consultants, focusing on institutional level alternative assets. So that means private equity, real estate, infrastructure, real assets, hedge funds. And how you use them. So one of the things which we've been looking at, as has everybody else over the last few years, is how does technology affect the investment world? Our industry is no different from any other, and I challenge you to find any industry on this planet which is not affected by technology. But the question is, how and where's it going? And we felt that given that our focus really is on investment decision making, the biggest impact is probably in the range of new sources of data and the new ways that you can process and use data. So we've put together a new charter level program, and charter level means it's of a rigor which is sufficient to be a professional designation. That specifically looks at how big data and artificial intelligence, alternative data, how that is used in an investment context. So where we've got to with that, the syllabus is basically written. Our academic folks in-house and around the curriculum team in Massachusetts in the US have created the program. The next steps before we can launch are, and you will understand this as an academic, there's the administrative process around it. You have to start setting exams, you have to set up a certain administrative infrastructure, so we're in the middle of that process at the moment. And please don't hold me to this, but my best guess is that that's likely to go live somewhere in the middle of 2019. Obviously it's in our interest to make that happen as quickly as possible. There's a lot of interest. But that's our new project, and today at SUSS is the first time that we've mentioned this to the outside world.
Yes, okay, very exciting. And how do you get recognition to this new title?
My marketing colleagues will have a much better answer, but I think the real answer is time and members. So looking back at how we built the brand for the CAIA Association, you get good people through the program. They find it useful. It helps in their career. Their careers move forward. Their peers see that they're successful, and gradually you build a brand. I don't think you can fast track it.
Right. Okay. So you have to build it with time and slowly gain recognition.
Yeah, I think if you have a good quality program that meets a real world need and is academically rigorous, it will build its own brand.
Right. Okay. Okay. I hear you that the new technology like DLT and so on is going to help in investment decision. You know, there is going to be plenty of data. There's going to be stronger computing power, and all that is going to help you in your investment decision. But perhaps you can give us an update on what is the current state of investment appetite from your members in this, what we call, new token economy.
That's a very good question.
Yes.
So, again, as you can imagine, we've spent a lot of time thinking about this because our members ask us the same question. And our hurdle, if you like, to look at alternative investment is whether it's at the point where an institutional investor can use it. So just to back up, I mean, to be successful in alternative investments, you have to look at new assets or new approaches to assets.
Right.
That's where alpha comes from.
Right.
If you're doing the same thing as everybody else, there ain't no alpha.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is new doesn't faze us. The question is this can institutions use this stuff yet? And I don't think they can. So for now, we don't see that the token economy or token products, if you like, yet provide a usable asset class for institutional investors.
Okay. Then what changes then do you see are required to make this new product available for your member as an alternative investment class? What are the changes that you would like to see?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's about changes that we want to see because we try not to be prescriptive. But I think reliable scale, for sure.
Yes.
Secondly, we need to be able to understand what the drivers are. Right now, it's quite difficult to understand.
That's true.
Why
the valuation, how are they valued is a big question.
Yeah. So, until there's some sort of consensus on how you value this stuff, it's very hard.
Okay.
And given the proliferation of different assets and platforms, what's going to be very helpful are projects like DRC, which provides some kind of framework for us to evaluate the inherent strength of these things.
Okay. What about on the regulatory front? Do you wish to see some perhaps more regulation into this space before you consider this as an alternative asset class?
Yeah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, for example, within the kind of assets that we look at in the main CAIA charter, we have real estate. Real estate is regulated by normal commercial legislation, but it's not really a regulated asset class. We look at infrastructure, same comment. It's not really a regulated asset class. So regulation per se doesn't necessarily improve the attractiveness of an asset class. It makes it easier for retail investors to participate, for sure, because if you have a regulated structure that fits more normally into, or fits more naturally into retail investment distribution channels. But at the institutional level, it's not really about regulation. I think regulation will come, but that's not a prerequisite for us wanting to look at it again.
Yeah, this is what happened to the STO, the current hot topic in the token space. US has been regulating STO for some time now, and a lot of countries are looking at putting regulation on security tokens. What is your view on security token? Is that something that your members would look at it as an investment class?
So, to be blindingly honest, I don't have a view on security tokens.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if we have some of our members who are looking. Again, I'm not convinced that they are yet at the point where institutions can take them seriously. That's an amateur view.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other?
Yeah, because just as you mentioned, I think STO will be very popular, especially at current point, because the market pricing is very low now. But STO, just as I said, it is a better financial approach for those assets if they are very difficult to segmentation, or very difficult to liquidity, or very difficult to verification their ownership. It is suitable for issue a security token to the investor to raise the fund. So that is what is my opinion on STO. And especially for the future of the new token, I believe most of the asset will become digitalization. And the digitalized asset will be tokenization in future. So that is the new token economic, in my opinion. Yeah.
So one of the challenges, I think, which you mentioned in passing, is identifying ownership. So virtually every institution has a fiduciary responsibility. So when you buy a token, it's your money. The only person that you're responsible to is you. When you're an institution, the investment decisions that you make, you're making with other people's money. And arguably, that fiduciary responsibility is much more fundamental than your investment responsibility. So from a fiduciary point of view, the issue of being able to identify ownership clearly is absolutely fundamental. I can make a judgment call with my money that I can buy an asset with a new form of ownership, or with a form of ownership that I'm not 100% clear on. If I'm going to make an investment with Professor Pei's money, I can't do that. I have to be able to say, we own this. So I think that's, there may well be a technological answer to this, but I don't think there is right now.
Okay.
So I think this problem is not a technology problem. All of the FHAs should be controlled by some professional agencies, such as we depend on some legal or accounting department to help us to identify, to make the due diligence on the ownership, to identify who is really on the ownership on the asset, right? So I think in the future, even in the new token economic, it is not totally the problem of the technology. It also need centralized governance and some professional agency to set up the new standard and practice in the new economic. Yeah.
So your view is we're not going to have 100% decentralization. There will be a degree of decentralization, but equally there needs to be some institution.
Yeah, it needs to find some balance among the decentralized and centralized. Maybe currently the better is semi-decentralized.
That makes sense.
I think my view is that going forward, we probably will need both decentralization and centralization. We are likely to move from the current largely decentralized model to where decentralization can drive the efficiency, democracy, and also inclusiveness. This is where I think decentralized technology can help drive this objective. But at the same time, you need centralization in terms of governance, in terms of regulation, in order to safeguard and maintain social order and social stability. So you probably need both going forward. Yeah.
I think that's right. I mean, and the parallel, I guess, is with the internet.
Yeah.
The internet was conceived and for a long time was borderless, ruleless, and where we're getting to now that the internet is a fundamental utility for everybody in the developed world. We have different models of policing the internet. The Chinese model, even in the US, it looks like some of the really big online firms are likely to become regulated as utilities. So I think that's the trajectory that we'll see. Whether it happens quickly or slowly, I don't know, but that's the trajectory.
So if there's nothing else, I think in conclusion is that going forward, technology has taken us to where we are today, but I think a lot of other infrastructure needs to be built up in terms of what Selena has mentioned about the issue on valuation, the issue on how do you do accounting on crypto assets, the issue of compliance and even tax. All this institutional infrastructure has to be in place before, I think, when you mention about the institutional interest is still not there yet, and I think this is where all this infrastructure has to be built and put in place before I think your members will start to consider.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
I agree with that because I believe the new token economic will be a combination of centralized with the decentralized. Maybe the technology is decentralized, but the control can be combination.
Yes.
And so for those traditional institutions, I suggest they had better open their mind and open their boundary to build because the future it is really ecosystem. It is openness and inclusive, autonomous ecosystem, right? Across the country, across the boundary. It needs smoothly combination among different entities. So no matter you are professor or legal or startup company, we can join together to build up the ecosystem.
Sure. There is always no harm to open your eyes and put your radar up to look at new things.
I think that's right. I can see a few dark clouds there because it strikes me that a great deal of the promise of the token economy is actually very threatening to some very large and established institutions. So, if we were to, Bitcoin is not it, but if we were to find that there was genuinely a liquid and respected cryptocurrency that was becoming a real medium of exchange and a store of value, that would be unsettling for the world's central banks. They're powerful, they will push back. If smart contracts really start to take hold across the world of commerce and finance and trade, that's going to impact on the legal system. and the legal profession is full of smart, well-educated people who are very good at fighting back. I think you can point to lots of road jams. I mean, I think we come to the same place.
Yeah.
I think, ultimately the degree of decentralization is going to be partly utility, what works best, but I think a lot of it is actually going to be political, as to what the world's existing institutions allow it to be.
Right. And I think to build on what you have just said, there is another school of thoughts on this token economy. We are here to complete and not to compete with the existing institution. In other words, using the technology, we try to make this world as more inclusive as possible. We are not here to compete. Perhaps maybe we are here to help improve the processes, but not to compete with the existing institution. But on the other hand, we can use technology to reach out to those who are currently unbanked and underserviced and make it a more inclusive society. This is what I said, to complete but not to compete.
That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it.
That is great.
And just referring to fintech, one of the things which I think is very inspiring. I mean, PRC, it strikes me, leads the world in retail fintech. One of the big effects of that has been to pull an awful lot of, in particular, rural and new urban Chinese into the financial services ecosystem, which the banks would never have been able to do in one lifetime.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Point is very well taken.
Yep. Very good.
So, do you have other opinion to share to the community? Yeah.
No, I think the only thing I would add is just to say to everybody, here we are in SUSS, which is Singapore's poster child for inclusiveness. So it's a very appropriate place to have this conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
the interview.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor Bai. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your joining our DRC talk, and we'll continue our professional and deeply insight on new token economic in the future. Please keep your watch on our talk in future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.